Niyama. And the fifth Niyama is Ishvara Pranidhanya. Such a long word. And it means to lay your actions at the feet of God. And if the word or the name God doesn't fit with you, then use the word universal source, higher power, or whatever you call that being or entity or whatever it is that you believe in. And what it means is that at that point, this is it. After we've done everything we have done, after we have done everything we can, and after we have done it to the best of our ability, that's the caveat, guys. After you have done everything to the best of your ability, then you release the need to control the outcome, and you allow yourself to be in acceptance. You need to allow yourself to accept the outcome. Because when you're not accepting the outcome, after you've done everything, you can't change. It's like in your youth, let's say that there is, let me give you an example. Let's say that you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and they break up with you. It's already been determined. They're going to break up with you. That's it. And you do everything in your power to try to stop them. And you do everything, in your power. You talk to your friends to tell them to talk to the boy or the girl. You call him, you text him, you email them. You've done everything that you can to change or to sway the mind at some point when you have done everything other than short of being a stalker, right? When you have done everything that you can, you have to let it go. You have to let it go. You have to trust and have faith that there is a reason for what you're going through. And you don't know that bigger reason. You have to have the faith. You have to be in Ishvari Pranidhanya and let it go. The moment that you accept what happens to you or what's happening, then you are in peace. But as long as you're fighting against it, what you resist will persist. You can make it worse. If there ever was a glimmer of hope that that person was going to come back to you, you've ruined it all because now you became the stalker, right? So you have to come to a place of acceptance. From that space, you are in peace. And from that space, you can move forward. It's the same thing, very, very same thing when you have an illness. When you have finally done everything and really done it well, and done the best that you can, you let go and let God. And I speak from experience. Being a cancer survivor, I did everything. I cleaned my diet. I took the right vitamins. I meditated. I yogaed. I made sure that I was only speaking to positive people. And when I had checked off my list everything that I was doing, and I continued to do it, at some point I said, I'm doing the best I can, and at least if I'm going to have this, it's going to be a better quality of life. So I had to release the outcome. I couldn't change what I was going through or what had happened to me. I could only change my experience, right? So I had to let go and let God. Right? For me, the name God is okay, right? So I let go, and as soon as I let go, I began to feel this release. I wasn't desperate anymore. I didn't have that desperation feeling. Right? And I truly believe that it was at that point in my life that is when I started to heal. Now, mind you, I've had a lot of near-death experiences. I've actually survived cancer twice, and when I was 18, I was actually pretty close to dying in the water. I was drowning, right? But I'll tell you, I'll give you an example of Ishvari Pranidanya. What happened was this. We were in San Felipe, and there was, it was like an 8-mile swim, and I could see way over there that there was this platform, and my cousin was standing at the platform, and he had this big old megaphone. He was saying, come on, you can do it, you can do it. So my brother went, and myself and my friend stayed back, and I was pretty scared. I wasn't a strong swimmer, but I was pretty scared. But then all my cousins, all my friends, everybody was up there, so I started to go. Halfway there, I felt something underneath me pull me down, and I felt the swirling around my feet. I got caught in an undercurrent, and I was going up and down and up and down. And as long as I was fighting, as long as I kept on, I noticed that as I was fighting and screaming, the more I was fighting and screaming, the more I would stay down, and I was choking and I was coughing, and it was awful. And so then at that point in time, it was like, wait a minute. And then one time of those, I looked up, I barely looked up, and I saw that quite a few of my cousins and everybody had jumped off. I think they were coming to try to help me, right? I went down. At that point, when I went down, that was it. I finally let go. At some point down inside the water, I let go. I remember very clearly just saying, okay, God, I'm ready. I let go. I let loose. My body let loose. There was no more fear. There was no more anything, absolutely anything. All I saw was a white light. I was ready to let go. I was ready. I felt like I was in bliss. It was awesome. I went toward the white light, and it was awesome. I shed my physical body at that point in time. I just let go. I said, here I come, God. I'm ready. This is how it's going to end, and this is how it's going to end. I remember so clearly. And then all of a sudden, as soon as I let go, I felt something come, and it was awful for me because somebody pushed me really hard, and it was like, oh my God. And it was my cousin that had come around and was able to, he just, with all his force, he pushed me, and with his push, my feet untangled from the current, and I went up. But I was really pissed, right? I was really pissed because I wanted to be left in that white light in that beautiful place, right? But the point is that when I finally let go, boom, I was saved. Right? That was my first experience. So Ishvari Pranidanya is all about that. You need to let go of your need to control. But you must do your very best up until that point. Same thing when you're, very simple explanation, when you're actually looking for a job, right? You're looking for a job, but are you really, really willing to do what it takes, right? Let me give you another example that didn't happen to me, but it happened to my friend. My friend was looking for a job, and people would come to her and say, hey, you know what, there's this really cool business, you ought to get into it, blah, blah, blah. It's, it's selling, of course, this and that. She would say, no, I'm looking for a job. This went on for a year and a half. Okay, this went on for a year and a half. At some point she came to me and she said, I can't find a job. I've got a master's degree and I can't find a job. And I said, how many times has somebody presented an opportunity to you? And she looked at me, and then she said, oh my gosh. I said, you're trying to control it. You're trying to tell the universe or God what you want, exactly what you want, and when you want it, and how you want it, and if not, you're not going to take it, right? So what happens is when she finally realized, and she decided to go to one of these meetings things, she became an entrepreneur, And now she's making a 6-figure income, more than she could have made at any other job. But finally, she released